Hey everybody, how we doing this week? I'm back with another album review. Just a little update. I think I mentioned before I got a full-time job now, and I don't know if I'll be able to do 2 videos a week like I was hoping to. Maybe once I get into the swing of things with this job I have, then I'll be able to do it. But for now, we're just going to stick to doing one music review a week on Sundays, or that'll be out on Sundays or Mondays, depending on how my schedule with work links up, okay? Alright, cool. This week's album is one that I don't really have a history with or anything. I I honestly kind of never heard of them up until I bought this album. It's The Antidote for Irony by So They Say. Trying to peek under it here. Maybe I'll start duct taping these to my forehead. That way I can just talk and you can look at the album while I talk. Would you guys still watch it? Let me know. But anyway, back to what I was saying. From what I gather about this band, they were around during the same time frame as like My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Matchbook Romance, Hawthorne Heights. I'm really dating myself, I suppose. Basically, they were an emo, post-hardcore type thing during the mid to late 2000s. From what I understand, they only have 3 albums. This is the second of which, and the first one is just an EP, not really an album, so okay, cool. I don't know much about this band other than the fact that they were signed to Fearless Records. I bought this on a whim. I think I mentioned that. I was at a pawn shop that I like around here. It's sort of a pawn shop. They sell video games and music. And the guy was having a buy one CD, get one free. I bought something. I saw this sitting on the shelf next to the thing I was buying. I was like, sure, why not? So I picked that up, and with that, I kind of took it home and forgot about it. Over the last couple of weeks, I was digging through my box of CDs that I don't really listen to, looking for stuff to listen to. Imagine that. And I happened across this thing, and I was like, when the heck did I buy this? After scratching my head for an hour, I figured it out, and I was like, okay, throw it in. And I was pleasantly surprised. Now this is the part I start rattling off facts and rambling about it. Musically, it's somewhere in between, like, Anberlin and maybe My Chemical Romance's, like, first 2 albums. Like, these guys don't necessarily have a unique sound, per se, but I personally have a hard time defining it. Like, I'd say the closest sound musically would probably be Anberlin, kind of that hard-edged alternative rock sound. The vocals are a bit rougher, though. They're not like, there's no death growls. I mean, it's not Black Dahlia Murder or anyone like that, but he's got a bit of a harder edge. He doesn't have as much of a pretty boy singing voice. I like it. The lyrics are somewhat okay. There's a lot of cliche to it. The song Goodbye is probably the best song on the album. I recommend that one if you're going to look into these guys. My favorite part of this, honestly, is the album artwork. I don't know why. I have a thing for minimalist album covers. Like with my fingers. I really, really, really like the minimal effect here. Although I'm wondering how it's a liquid on the front cover, but on the back cover it's pills, so they must have some Harry Potter medicine or something right there, because I don't know how that works in real life. Really, this is just one of those albums I thought was worth mentioning, because like a lot of the albums I find on this, I talk about on this show, is just stuff I've found at like yard sales and bargain basement CD stores, and sometimes I like to just talk about albums I don't think got a lot of attention, and I think this is one of them. I could be wrong, like, I lived through the scene that these guys were part of, but I have not heard of them up until, like, I bought this album. Maybe a little bit before that. I might have had someone recommend them to me because I like Silverstein. So that's another good comparison. Musically, they're kind of like Silverstein, but without the screaming. So, overall, I give this like a C minus. Like, it doesn't change anything. If you're going into this looking for an amazing post-hardcore album, you're not going to find it. It's very by the numbers, but if that's what you're looking for, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I get in the mood for just like, I want a very definite post-hardcore sound, and that does this for me. Other than that, it's not really worth your attention if you're not into that kind of music anyway. If you're more into my more heavy stuff that I review, like if you were more into Black Dahlia Murder last week than you were then you definitely will be disappointed with this, because this is not heavy really at all. It's on the heaviness scale, I give it like a 2.5 out of 10. Or no, I'm sorry, 2.10, 2.5 out of 10. 2.10 out of 5. That sounds about right. No, 2.5 out of 10. I can't do numbers. That's why I majored in English. And I can't do that very well either, apparently. But, yeah, a decent post-hardcore album. Nothing that's gonna rock your socks, but I liked it, and I'm kind of picky in a really stupid, weird way. So give it a shot and tell me what you think. Have yourselves a great weekend, guys.